Good morning and welcome here to Bertram Field. It is the 115th meeting between the Beverly Panthers and the Salem Witches. Eric Campbell joined alongside Jay Norton here. Jay, a special day here across the state. A lot of traditions going on.
Absolutely.
Beverly, Salem, one of the oldest not only in the state but in the country as well. Yep. You're a former Panther. You talked about it last year, but again, what does this day mean to each community?
I mean, it means everything to the players, the parents, the students, former alumni. I mean, it's a big day, especially for the players here. Their whole career, I mean, even as a kid playing Pop Warner, growing up, you'd always, Thanksgiving Day game. Got to beat Salem, got to beat Salem. And it's something that sticks with you forever, what you do, in this game your senior year. So it is a big deal here in Beverly and Salem and in communities across the state.
Beverly's been able to string together a couple of victories over Salem, over Danvers after their first round exit in the playoffs from Gloucester. Sam Malumba played very well, but I think the story is going to be Isaiah White today. This morning, he has the opportunity to become the program's all-time leading rusher in terms of yards gained in a season. Isaiah's played throughout the year, has been consistent, and has been very strong.
He's been unbelievable all year, and he's really turned it on in the second half of the year. He's had games back-to-back 4 touchdown games, and he hasn't just done it on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, we're going to talk about how he needs 30 more yards to break Greg Pierce's single-season rushing record, but he's done it on defense as well, coming up with big sacks all year and pick sixes. I mean, the kid does everything.
We'll pause for the national anthem, and we'll be back with some more thoughts as we're moments away from kickoff. Been a great job by both the Salem Marching Band and the Beverly Marching Band doing our national anthem. Also did some numbers as well in the early going, but
yes,
let's jump back into the Isaiah again. Jay, you were just mentioning his play on the defensive side of the ball as well has been consistent throughout the year.
Yeah, he's done great at that outside linebacker spot all year. He's come up with big sacks during big points in games. We saw in the Lynn English game, had a pick six. I mean, multiple games with pick sixes this year. The kid's just a player. He's an all-around football player, and it's been a pleasure to watch him this year.
And Jay, where do you see this season for him ranking amongst some of the great Beverly running backs that have gone through the program? The names, Pat Bailey, Greg Pierce, Brendan Flaherty, some of the more recent names, but you know this program better than I do. Where does Isaiah's season rank?
He's right there with all those guys. He's put up the numbers. He's been a leader for this team. Unbelievable play all year. So he's right in, the talk with Pat Bailey, Greg Pierce, Brendan Flaherty, just like you said, guys like Kenny Pierce from last year. I mean, Isaiah White is on that list, no doubt.
So Jay, let's jump into this game here. Salem struggled throughout the last few throughout the season, really over the last few years, but really anything can happen on Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving is a season in itself, and both coaches will always tell you that. Thanksgiving, it's a second season. Anything can happen on Thanksgiving. I remember my senior year, coming to Thanksgiving, we had won 3 games in a row. We had beaten Gloucester for the first time in 10 years. We were riding high. We were supposed to kill Salem, who hadn't had a win all year. That game went into double overtime, and we ended up winning 12-6. A lot of that had to do with just the weather that day. The field was a mess. It was like playing on an ice rink. But it just goes to show you, anything can happen on Thanksgiving. It really generally, the team with the most seniors generally wins this game. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top today. hope for a Beverly win, but like I said, anything can happen on Thanksgiving.
Palmer and Rosario for Salem. They've been electric in the backfield. Rosario has also been quite a presence on the defensive side of the ball as well. So let's focus on the Beverly defense. Their front seven has been strong throughout the year, and really saw Sam Malumba come alive in the Danvers game with forced fumble and interception late in that game. What does Beverly need to do to slow down the Salem rushing attack?
Well, their front seven, like you said, is going to have a big game. Their D-line's going to have to do a good job, not giving up ground, keeping the Salem offensive line off the linebackers. You're going to have to see big games from Jimmy Kastronakis and Sean Winston. And I think Beverly's going to be able to handle the Salem rushing attack this game.
James Aaron not dressed for the second straight game. Jimmy Kastronakis did not play in the Danvers game, but he is dressed for this one, so we'll see how he plays as well. Anthony Nolasco had a great game against Danvers last week as well. He filled in at 2 weeks ago, he filled in at that inside linebacker position for Kastronakis. Jay, Salem, their defense is going to have to deal not only with Isaiah White, but they're going to have to deal with Peter Malumba, Sam Malumba, Matt Madden, Jordy Rotting. Basically a huge backfield for Beverly. What does Salem have to do to slow Beverly down?
They're going to have to do a lot, Eric. It's going to be really tough to contain those guys. Beverly's just got so much talent. I mean, it's amazing to see all the young guys that just keep coming up through the Beverly ranks here. I mean, as the saying goes, we don't rebuild, we reload. You got guys like Jordy Rotting, Matt Madden, Peter Malumba, all sophomores who have contributed this year, and it's going to be really tough for Salem to stop all facets of the Beverly rushing game.
Beverly has elected to receive the ball, and we have a absolutely packed stadium here, a brand new turf field at Bertram Field. This is only the third game that Salem has played on this field, and they are still in search of their first win of the field on this field.
And it's interesting, it's the first year where there's only been one side with stands. Usually the Beverly stands are over on that side, but with the construction of the new field here, those are gone. So it's going to be Beverly and Salem all packed in this one side of the field.
It is a very cold and windy day. Teams don't really pass a lot, so it's not going to affect the passing game at all. But what I was noticing was on the kickoffs that the wind was playing a huge factor in knocking the kicks down. So it's going to be interesting to see field position throughout the game, how it's going to affect on kickoffs and punts. Once again, an absolutely packed stadium here, the 115th meeting between Salem and Beverly, and we are underway. It is a spin kick right up to Kozlowski, who didn't think he was going to get it, but I know Joey's had a cast on his hand, and it looks like he doesn't have the cast from we are. Granted, we are probably about 80 yards away from him or so. But Beverly has fantastic field position here. They come out 1st and 10 on their own 47. Nick Manthorn gets the start after Brian Flaherty got the start last week for the Panthers in the Danvers game. Expect a lot of shifting early for Beverly's offense. Brent C goes out wide. He's at the top of your screen. Isaiah White comes in motion. White is going to break it on 50, and he may break the record on one run. Throws his shoulder in, and he is driven out of bounds just about to the 30-yard line. And Isaiah White is probably about 10 yards away from setting a single-season Panther record.
Yeah, probably not even, and that's good. They definitely want to get that record out early. You don't want to get into that second quarter or second half, with that still lingering there.
Panthers 1st and 10 here. They are into Salem territory at the 31. It's going to be Matt Madden, the super sophomore, comes across the middle. He's still on his feet. He's across the 20, throws a stiff arm, cuts back. He's down inside the 10-yard line. And the Panthers, 2 plays, 2 first downs. They've moved the ball effectively so far. And really, Jay, we've talked about it, that wing T offense, in order for it to be successful, your offensive line has to win the battles in the trenches.
Absolutely. They have to play cohesively as a unit. It's so important in this offense. So far, great blocking up front by the O-line and great running by the Beverly backs.
Here comes White on the carry. He is dragged down inside the 10. He may have gotten about a yard on the play. Will bring up second and goal here for the Panthers. Their shortest offensive play of the game so far.
Yes, it is. So, again, about 2 there. Second and goal, look for the Panthers to keep it on the ground, especially with this wind. Definitely going to be a factor in the passing game today.
Malumba, the up back. White will go in motion. It's going to be White again. Cuts it back up towards the middle, trying to get outside. He is inside the 5. About a gain of 3 on the play. It's going to bring up third down here.
And he's close to that record if he didn't break it on that carry. It's just a few more yards. Big third down here for the Panthers, Eric.
From the 4-yard line, this is White, and he is going to be short, and it's going to be 4th and less than a yard here.
And the Panthers are going for it all the way here.
Macy Manthorne trying to take it over the top here. They're going to hand it off, and
he's in.
He's got to be in, and he's in. And the Panthers strike forth a very dominating opening drive, Jay, as Isaiah White goes in from half a yard.
Yeah, great drive for the Panthers. Exactly how the seniors want to start this day. You need to get that first few plays out of your system because the butterflies are there, and it's your last game, possibly your last game ever playing football, and the butterflies are there for that first drive. It's really important to get settled in and make things happen.
Matt Madden with the kick. That is up and good. And with 9:58 to go here in the first quarter, your score, Beverly 7, Salem nothing. Beverly cashes in on their opening drive, dominated by Isaiah White, who has broken the single season rushing record for Beverly. And he may end up on the year, realistically, Jay, he could rush for about 200 yards today and end up with about 1,800 for the season, which
some people
don't get in a career, let alone a single season. It's also his 24th touchdown of the year. Isaiah, he was a NEC All-Star along with Zach Duguid, Sam Malumba, and Sean Winston, all voted by the coaches as NEC All-Stars this year, so congratulations to them.
And I have to give it to Greg Pierce here. Your name has been erased from the record books. So, tough luck, bud.
Maybe Greg can find some high school eligibility laying around somewhere and come back in and throw on the pads.
I know he would love that.
Didn't Al Bundy do that in an episode of
at good old Polk High?
Yeah.
Scored 4 touchdowns in one game once.
Mike McKenna is going to have to hold the kick here as the wind, again, huge factor in the game. Madden's kick, he'll elect to kick it deep, and this will be taken at the 5. Bobbled, now scooped up. Christian Miller's down there first, but a hold here. Couple of defenders to beat here. As that looked like Wigfall with it, number 19 for Salem. Gets Salem into great field position.
And this looks like
there's a flag on the play. We have a hold on the kick against Salem, so this will bring them back. Push that back about 10, or the ref's calling all the way back.
Yeah, it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so that's going way back. It'll probably be half the distance of the goal. So great return by Salem, nullified by the holding penalty.
Austin Conley will be the quarterback here for the Witches, number 25, senior captain. So Salem looked like they were going to be at their own 42, but now they're going to be on their own 8-yard line. 1st and 10, their first possession. Beverly cashing in on their first. 9:47 to go here, first quarter. First play handoff and driven back as number 28, Aaron Palmer, the 1,000-yard rusher, is driven back.
Great play there by Sean Winston. Meeting his block at the line of scrimmage, getting off to make that tackle for a gain of about a half a yard.
Second and 10 here for Salem. Conley will take it, and he will keep it on the option read, coming at it look like a pistol look there. And Beverly defense up to the task here as it's 3rd and long for Salem, deep in their own territory.
And there's Isaiah White in the backfield making the tackle there, making it 3rd and long.
How impressed have you been with the Panther defensive line, Jay, throughout the year?
The Panthers' defense in general has been unbelievable this year, Eric. I mean, they played some big offenses, Marblehead in particular. I'm thinking of that Marblehead game, and they've held together so strong. I know at the beginning of the year, everyone said that, this Panthers team, the defense is going to be the big component, and it certainly has been. They played great all year long for Coach Bauer.
3rd and 10. Connolly directing traffic in the Salem backfield. He'll take the snap, he'll pitch it, and trying to get to the outside, and a good run there, close to the first down, was number 28, Aaron Palmer. Takes the pitch, or takes the toss, and he is going to be short. 4th and 1.
Got a punt here. That's a long one, too.
So Salem, the smart thing to do here would be to punt.
And yeah, they're punting. Got it this early in the game, this deep in your own zone.
And unless they're going to fake it, they're going to go for it here.
Wow.
Unless they're going to try to draw the Panthers offsides here, and it will take a timeout. So Palmer will jog to the sidelines here, and all indications are that Salem is going to boot this one away.
Not a bad play there. As we know, Eric, in high school football, you get 5 timeouts each half. And as you always say, we can't take them home with you.
You cannot, even on Thanksgiving, you can't take your timeouts home with you and share them at the Thanksgiving Day dinner table. Jay, happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Christian Miller is back deep. He's at his own 45, and that is Isaiah White, who is on the Salem side of the 50-yard line. Kick is up, and it is going to take a bounce at the 45.
Just let it go.
As the Denver Broncos know, Peter. LaPrey on the punt, and Beverly will have great field position again to start their second drive. As Brian Flaherty will enter the game at quarterback. Played well in the Somerville game. Played even better in the Danvers game. He was 4 for 4 passing, and really just got to go out there and manage the offense, especially when you have talent like the Panthers do in their backfield.
And he really brings an energy to the Panther offense, and you saw it in the last few minutes of the Gloucester playoff game. Everyone just really responds well to Flaherty taking snaps.
Isaiah White still on his feet, moving his legs. He is up to the 45-yard line into Salem territory. It's interesting to see Brian sporting Brendan's old 33. He had been 32 for a majority of the year, but Alex Sluka was telling us that a couple times he has rocked the 33 in other games. But he's wearing it here on Thanksgiving. 2nd and about 1 here for the Panthers at the 45. And we have a flag on the play, and a false start will bump Beverly back. Still 2nd and manageable here for Beverly.
Yeah, but that's a big penalty there, Eric. I mean, 2nd and 1 now goes to 2nd and 6. So what was almost to be a sure thing, getting the first down, moving the chains, becomes a little bit more difficult here.
2nd and 6 now, 6:44 to go, first quarter. Beverly 7, Salem nothing. It's going to be a reverse.
Oh, wow. He's got
and
room to
this
run.
is coming down the sideline across the 30 and down inside the 20-yard line for Beverly was Matt Madden on the reverse.
Madden having a huge game so far today. 2 big runs, looking real good on that one there.
Matt and Isaiah confused me with that backplate that they have on. I try to figure out who it is, and I can't, but I know this is definitely Isaiah White. Goes straight ahead, and he is down, and the Panthers are going quick here. They're keeping the tempo high.
Pedal to the metal here in that NASCAR package.
Him is on the tackle for Salem. It's going to bring up 2nd and about, as they stretch the chains out, maybe 5 or 6 here. Handoff again. White inside the 10.
Yeah, it looks to be good enough for the first down.
First down will bring up 1st and goal.
So this Panther offense functioning as a well-oiled machine so far today, Eric. Looking very good up front in the backfield. Exactly what you want to see from the Panthers to start off.
And this is exactly how they really started off in the Danvers game as well. Very quick, tempo was there. And Beverly will have to take a timeout here, a little confusion. So they'll take their first timeout with 5:35 to go.
As you hear the PA announcer talk about the 50-50 raffle. Anyone who wins that today is going home a big winner. Because there's probably 4,000 or 5,000 people here today.
I was flipping through and just reading stuff on Twitter about, how many, in every article that's ever been out about this game, they always mention the crowd. And you could have a crowd, I think you just said 4,000 or 5,000 people could be here right now. Some of those games talking about over 10,000 people coming to a game.
I remember the 100th game back in '98. There was over 10,000 people there.
Flaherty on the keeper. He's still on his feet, and he'll be dragged down. Looked like he didn't get anything on that, and it'll bring up 2nd and goal here.
And really, YouTube's great. You can watch, a lot of the old clips from seasons past, but they do have some clips from, I think it's the 1936 Panthers season. And you look at the stands in those games. I mean, they had 20,000 people filling all those games.
Flaherty to the pitch there to White. And he is inside the 5-yard line. Brings up 3rd down here.
Big 3rd down for the Panthers here. I'm sure they're going to go for it again on 4th down, being this close. If they gain at least a yard or two.
Jay, personnel in and out for the Panthers. Seen a lot of shuffling. Seen Christian Miller in there coming in, lining up in the backfield. So I've seen a lot of that over the course of the last few games. Anthony Lasco I've seen kind of come in and out of the games as well. So the Panthers trying to keep fresh legs out there. As Flaherty will hand this off to Christian Miller.
Oh,
and
close.
He is close, but it looks like it's going to be a very similar spot to the last 4th down.
Yeah, it looks right up on that goal line. And yeah, it looks like 4th and inches from back here.
So the Panthers will go for it again on 4th down here. 4:10 in running in the first quarter. Flaherty under center. Nate Higgins will snap it. And the Salem comes up with a huge stop and a huge momentum for the Witches as Isaiah White is swallowed up by about 5 red jerseys. And referees, there may have been a flag on the play, looking for some laundry. Can't see any on the field.
Looks like it might be a personal foul. And the way Beverly's reacting, it looks like it's going to be on Salem. And if this was after the play, I'm not sure whether it would be an automatic first down for Beverly or it would just be half the distance to the goal in Salem's ball. So let's see what the refs.
And they're going to wave off the flag, and Salem will take over here. They're deep in their own territory, but a huge stop for them as they could have gone down 2 scores very early in this game, but they get a huge stop there.
Big momentum shift, Eric. Big momentum shift very early in this game.
We're going to start on their own 5-yard line. It will be 1st and 10.
Mentioned in the pregame, field position would be huge. Beverly's had the opportunity twice to start around in Salem, or their own 40-yard line. Salem has started both their drives inside their 10-yard line. Connolly, 2 backs in the backfield. Go with the little option here, but he'll keep it. Comes up the middle and he's across to about the 15-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, giving Salem some breathing room.
So that's right up there, going to be second and inches, if not a first down here. Let's see if they move the chains. Going to be 2nd down.
Jay, haven't seen enough to really draw any conclusion on Salem's offense so far, but Connolly looks like he's able to move the ball with his legs, running kind of that read option. What are your thoughts early in the game here on Salem's second drive?
Yeah, absolutely. He had a great run on 1st down, and they seem to be running that read option pretty consistently here, picking up the 1st down, moving the chains. You definitely do not want to let them get going as an offense. You don't want to let them keep picking up 1st downs and start feeling comfortable against this defense.
Salem picks up their first down of the game here. Now up to their own 17-yard line. Connolly handles the low snap, running the option here, and he's going to keep it, try to get around the edge. A great tackle there on the near sidelines. That was Mike McKenna, junior defensive back.
So another good pickup for Salem right there. Gaining about 4 yards, I think, or 5 yards.
They'll mark it 2nd and 4. Ball at the 22.
Oh, it's
Connolly
pass.
will pass, and he'll have an open man there.
too.
A lot of blockers in front. Pass was complete there to number 2, Christian Costa.
Salem coming out throwing on this drive. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some more of that throughout the game. Definitely a little wrinkle in their offense.
Keep the Beverly defense guessing.
But a great second drive for Salem. You get that huge stop on 4th down right on the goal line, and they move the ball with ease on this drive so far.
Beverly's only allowed really a handful of touchdowns in the last few games, and if you think about it, the majority of their touchdowns that the defense yielded came in that Gloucester playoff games, though. Since then, the defense has really stepped up their game. So we have a quick timeout here taken by Salem.
And even that Gloucester game was, before the last 2 minutes or so, that was a tight game. It was about 14 points. I think Gloucester scored twice in the final 2.5 minutes or so. So they've really been a very tight unit all year.
Salem on their own 38, 1st and 10. Connolly will hand it off. And stuffed immediately and driven back. Looks like that was Rosario, number 20.
Yeah, it was a good job by the Panthers' defensive line, getting a lot of push up front. Gang tackling there. Good job.
Looked like Kastronakis may have been one of the first Panthers in there. Usually indicated as he was one of the last ones to get up.
Yep, that's how you know. It's always tough with these away uniforms, the numbers, the orange on the white. Tough to see.
And a ball on the ground, and it is still loose.
I think
Panthers
Beverly's
may
got
have it.
Let's see what. Oh yeah.
And coming up with it looks like that
Peter
is
Malumba.
Peter Malumba with it. And the Panthers cause a turnover and will take over 1st and 10 from the Salem 35-yard line.
That's a big play there, Eric. Big play. Another momentum swing, this time going in Beverly's way. I mean, Salem did a great job with that goal line stand. We're driving the ball very nicely. Unfortunate play there to have a turnover as you were driving.
Nick Manthorn back in the game as quarterback, so we'll see if a rotation between these two will continue.
Oh, wow, he's got some room.
Handoff to White. And a gain of about 5.
Nick Manthorn coming in the game for the Panthers.
Yep. 2nd and 5 here. Manthorn handoff. Again to White. He's got a 1st down, and he is close to the 20-yard line.
Great blocking for the Panthers. Isaiah White on that run got 6 or 7 yards before he even got touched. So great job up front by the O-line.
Manthorn handoff. Peter Malumba's first touch of the game. He is across the 20, inside to the 10. So the Panthers' ground game continuing to be effective. Scoreboard shows unofficially under a minute to go here.
We all know it doesn't really matter what the scoreboard says, Eric.
Manthorn to White. White is inside the 5, spins for an extra yard, and he is inside the 5-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal. Charlton in on the tackle for Salem.
And Zach Dugood, number 50 there for the Panthers with a good block. Springing White there for a good run.
The Panthers will certainly miss Zach, as here's a reverse. Madden with it.
Another 3rd down. Yeah, he's a big player for them. And definitely a lot of questions. They lost a lot of offensive linemen this year, or from last year's team, but he's played great on both sides of the ball, and definitely deserves his all-conference bid that he got this year.
3rd down, handoff again, and up and in for his 2nd score of the game as Isaiah White punches it in from 5 yards out. And the Panthers punch one. NJ, the ground game, the offensive line, effective again.
Oh, they're dominating right now, Eric. You'll love to see that. Salem knows what's coming. They can't stop it. It's just Beverly football at its finest right there.
Berry to snap, McKenna to hold, Madden to kick. Kick is up, and it is good. And as the first quarter hits zeros, the score, Beverly 14, Salem nothing. Jay, your thoughts on that first quarter?
Great quarter for Beverly. I mean, they had the ball inside the Gloucester 5, 3 possessions, came away with 2 touchdowns. Salem was still in this game, far from over. They had that huge goal line stand. They had a great drive going before the fumble on the last drive. But, there's a reason why the Salem team's doing it. And when you make mistakes like that, you're not going to win a lot of football games.
Jay, I want to get your thoughts on kind of the NEC as a whole this year. Obviously, a much different feel with the new playoff system. A lot of opponents that you're playing at different times throughout the years. But I'm curious to hear what your reaction is to how the league and how kind of everything unfolded this year.
I was very happy with the NEC. I thought there was a lot of good football teams this year. I mean, we had teams like Danvers coming out who had a really good year, their best year in years. Same thing with Gloucester. Gloucester was a very good football team. We saw it in the playoff game. I mean, they were just a much better team than our Panthers and really deserved to win that game. Marblehead, always a great team. Coach Rudloff over there does a great job with that program. So a lot of good teams, conferences definitely moving in the right direction.
Madden will kick, McKenna will hold again here. Kick is short, and it is going to go out of bounds. We'll draw a flag, and Salem will get an opportunity to advance the ball a little bit here.
Yeah.
And they'll start with their best field position of the morning. 115th game between Salem and Beverly. Eric Campbell, Jay Norton here for the final time this year. There is no more football after this. The MIAA changing the playoff format. That the playoffs are pretty much all complete. Teams will
the Super Bowl.
Teams will start next week in the Super Bowl.
How do you feel about the new format so far this year? You like it?
Andy and I talked about it a little bit last year. I think that at this point last year, when I remember when we were talking about it, I don't think we were fan. I mean, I wasn't a fan of it. I don't know. I can't remember
I definitely
your
was
thoughts
against
from last year.
When it first came out. I thought it was going to be weird. What's going to happen with Thanksgiving, all this. But I mean, so far I kind of liked it this year. It really, it's tough though when your season's over. You don't have a shot at the playoffs. After about 7 weeks. But it's still, I think it worked out well. It's nice to get those extra teams in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to sit here and bring up 2 points, and I'm going to go back and talk about Wellesley again.
Okay.
Dominant in the 90s, early 2000s. Kind of fell off. You're going against Walpole and Natick consistently. Wellesley had not been to a playoff game in 13, 15 years, and they got in the playoffs this year.
Yep.
Ran into a Mansfield buzzsaw as they are the number 1 team in the state right now.
Mansfield always has a good football program.
It gives an opportunity for Wellesley to get in the playoffs for the first time in a long time, bringing some new energy back to that. And the one thing that I still don't like is every year in high school, it was always Wellesley's opportunity to ruin the playoffs for Needham. That Needham had to win on Thanksgiving to go to the playoffs, and when Wellesley could beat them, you could kind of say, Needham,
better luck next year, right?
Better luck next year. So, I missed that aspect of it. But what I do like is Beverly, early season loss to Danvers a year ago probably means the playoffs, I don't know, depending upon things how
those in-conference games were so big because you had those 4 games, you had to go 3-1. At worst to make the playoffs. If you're not going 3-1, your season's pretty much done. So,
and you look at a program like Salem, granted a two-win year for them in the regular season. Up until kind of the last week of the regular season rotation, some balls dropped the other way. Salem
they
could have been in the playoffs.
Exactly.
So it gives teams the opportunity to do that. It's giving us 6 real, true state champions. It's this, and this is one thing that Andy always talks about. Everyone gets a trophy. Everyone gets a ribbon. Yeah. We had 15, 16 state champions last year across the board, and just for football alone. and now they're going to go from that number to 6 state champions as Connolly rolls Isaiah White on his tails, and White will track him down. A great play as Connolly goes out of bounds into Panther territory.
We'll see what Coach Conley does here. Try and play the field position game or go for it down by 14. Big 4th down coming up for the Witches.
Brings the punt unit on. I mean, Jay, if you had to give the playoff system a grade in year 1, I mean, this is a kind of pilot program that they'll do for a few years. If you had to stick a letter grade on it, what would you give it?
I honestly, I'd give it, probably a B+, A-. It's tough to grade something like that. I feel you either like it or you don't. And this year, I really did like it. It was unfortunate, Beverly didn't go a little bit further, but it worked out well. I feel it worked out well, and we'll see. I'd be really interested to see how the coaches and the players thought about it. I'd really be interested to get their take on the playoff system this year.
I mean, my concern, and I think I voiced this to you at the end of the end of the Gloucester game, is how you just know your season's over. You know
right.
that there is no playoffs. There's nothing else to be playing for.
It's like, how do you get these kids up for the next game when they're? But it's you do. I mean, as a football player, you play for every game, and you got the Salem game coming up. Even though you're not going to, any further in the playoffs, there's still a lot to play for. And most years, you're not going for the playoffs. I mean, we've been blessed here in Beverly with the run this Panther team's been on. Coach Bauer has done an unbelievable job the past few years, and it almost spoils you a little bit. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I was growing up, Beverly was never in the playoffs. Very rare. Went through kind of a dry spell for a few years, so it's most of the time, teams aren't going to the playoffs.
Second down here. Matt Madden trying to turn the corner. He's still on his feet. He's down the sidelines. He got a 1st down and more as Brian Flaherty back into the game as quarterback. So I think this rotation may continue throughout the morning here.
Yeah, and Matt Madden's been looking great so far today. But just to talk about the playoffs for a little bit longer, when I was playing the NEC, it was a 10-team league, and 1 team made the playoffs out of 10. And then they split it up my senior year in the NEC North and NEC South, and then the year after that they started having 2 teams go to the playoffs. But it wasn't always like it where, the NEC, Cal, you got a 4-tier conference where you're sending 4 teams to the playoffs.
And one thing that I was pleased to see is that, it's those games that they have in kind of the non-playoff format, you're still playing other teams. So Beverly had a pretty big game against the ball's on the ground, scooped up now. Looks like that was Isaiah White, as I think that was Jordy Rotting on the carry, or excuse me, Christian Miller fumbled it. But exactly how Coach Day drew that one up.
He was supposed to fumble, and Isaiah White was supposed to pick that up and run for about 25 more yards.
And we have a hold against the Panthers, either a hold or a personal foul. Couldn't see what the signal was from the referee, but it's going to drag them back. But what I was saying before that fumble is give Beverly an opportunity to go out and play Danvers, a game that they definitely wanted to have. So I'm pleased to see that. And I'm going to be interested to see, like you said, Jay, what the coaches and the players have to say and how they look to tweak things, in 2 years from now, if they'll go through 3 years with really no major changes, unless, I guess, an AD or one of the head football coaches across the state has a huge problem. So Beverly, that was actually a personal foul. This sets them pretty much back to Beverly High School. They'll start here with their 2nd down. They go from the Salem 40 to their own 14-yard line.
Yeah, that's a big change in field position.
Yeah, you were talking about it, Jay, the field position with Salem's punt here, pushing Beverly back. This is Madden again, and he's still on his feet and gets Pot coming up from the secondary, 25. Connolly with a huge hit there, letting Matt Madden know that he's there.
Yeah, absolutely. But, good 6-yard gain there. Now we got 3rd and 10 coming up. Maybe we see the Panthers air it out for the first time today.
And right on cue, Flaherty across the middle, and that is picked off.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Salem defenders.
Delgado on the interception, and Salem with a huge, again, another momentum swing.
Cannot make that mistake. Cannot throw that ball into quintuple coverage there. And it's Salem. They're fighting. They're not giving up yet. They're only down by 2 scores. Great field position here. They put one in here. We got a ball game.
Their best field position of the morning. 8:04 to go in the second quarter. Connolly throws it out to the flat. Blockers in front. Going down the sideline. Driven out of bounds. Number 24. Jimenez out of bounds.
Great wide receiver screen there.
Out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
Sam did a great job letting the blockers get out in front. Very nice play.
Patience on those screens pays off in the end.
Yes, it does.
Good for a first down for Salem.
And Salem doesn't have to score a touchdown here. They can pick up another first down by the 1-yard line.
Rosario with it. He's across the 10. Palmer on the carry. Second and goal here for Salem. Ball at the 6. Connolly with the handoff, going flipping up overhead. Rosario with that now as Kozlowski coming in. Kozlowski, he's a big hitter coming up in that secondary.
Oh, yeah. He likes to lay the wood. We've seen it before. He can truck kids.
Third down here for Salem. Ball just outside the 5-yard line. Connolly will pitch it out. Palmer with it. He is tripped up. They're going to be stopped inside the 5-yard line.
Big play by that Beverly defense.
4th down here. Got to figure Salem's going to be going for it here.
I don't know. You might want to take the points. Depends on your kicking situation.
Again, wind is whistling here throughout Bircham Field.
And again, if they do go for it, they do not have to score. Just have to get that ball past the 1-yard line for a first down. Look to be going for it here.
Connolly with Palmer to his right. Connolly will throw, and we got a pass. And it's going to be blown up in the backfield. Peter Malumba with a big stop there for Beverly. And the momentum back on the Panther side as Peter Malumba sniffs it out, and the Panthers will take over here deep in their own territory. Nick Manthorn will jog back out to lead the offense.
And no one's happier than Brian Flaherty right now. Mistake by the junior, but turns out nothing happened. So no points on the board for Salem. Beverly takes over at the 17-yard line.
And flag will be thrown here. Sean Winston jumped a little as the Panthers are going in motion. So the game has gone from a pretty quick pace in the first quarter to very sloppy here in the second quarter.
Slowing down in the second quarter. Panthers backing themselves up again here on first down.
White comes across in motion. It'll be a pitch here to Peter Malumba. He just made the big stop on 4th down. Little stutter step, he's across, and he has enough to get back to almost the original line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, I think he got about a yard or two past that original line, so it looks to be 2nd and 8 here.
Austin Connolly have figured out exactly what type of player he is. He is a do-it-all type of player. He is the conductor of this Salem train, as he is doing a little bit of everything so far in the game. 2nd and 8 here, under 5:30 to go in the second quarter. Beverly 14, Salem nothing. Manthorn goes from the shotgun to back under center. Morency comes in tight as the wideout. It'll be a handoff to Sam Malumba, and he is close to a first down, and he may have it.
Yeah, he's got the first down. They're going to move the chains here. Here we go, pedal to the metal, NASCAR package.
That was Peter Malumba on the carry. And this is White, gets tripped up, and the ball came loose.
Was he down?
And the referees are going to talk about it. And looks like Beverly's going to stay with the ball. And Jay was going to talk about this when Salem was going in. In the cold, that football plays some tricks on you.
Yeah, it's a rock. I mean, we saw that in the Patriots game the other night. A lot of fumbles in that game. It's hard to hold on to, and when it gets really cold, like in that Pats game,
as Peter Malumba still on his feet, and Peter Malumba's coming alive here as another super sophomore for the Panthers.
The ball only doesn't come really hard, but it's slippery, and it can be tough to hold on to in very cold weather. I mean, a day like today, it's not. I mean, it's about 35 degrees. It should be fine, but the wind is what's really making it cold today. Whew.
We saw it in the warm-ups, too, is the Panthers, not really a team that likes to chuck the ball around, but when they go through their little passing tree, receivers were having a tough time trying to
well, you really need
catch that ball.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing with the wind here, especially when you're playing high school football, is the quarterback, if you're throwing in that wind, you need to have some serious arm strength to push that ball through the air. It's tough for the receivers to get a read on the ball when the wind's knocking it down.
Yeah, and that was that pushing it through the wind is something that you heard a lot about throughout the week when they were talking about Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and what they could do. Panthers here, 1st and 10. They're in Salem territory.
They're going to get Beverly again.
Flag on the play. And it'll bump Beverly back. Again, the motion, you haven't really seen it, the pre-snap motion the Panthers do, you haven't really seen it affect them as much since kind of maybe the first couple games of the year. They're able to get a lot of the wrinkles out, and post that first Gloucester game, you really saw them kind of turn things up.
Great blocks there on the outside. Christian Miller and Isaiah White. 2 great kickout blocks.
Wingfall with the tackle. Madden on the carry for Beverly. 2nd and less than 10 here as Isaiah White with it. He's still on his feet. Great balance by White, and he is just around the 25-yard line. Good enough for another Panther first down.
He really is a joy to watch. You see him make the right reads. His ball carrier vision is great, but just his balance. That's a play. He should have been tackled there, but he stays on his feet, picks up an extra 10 yards.
Short gain on the play there. Second and 5. Man throwing, hands it off, goes up the middle.
It's going to be close. I think it's going to be a little short. It's going to be 3rd and about a yard, maybe a little less.
Malumba on that carry.
Oh, man, this wind today, Eric.
Woo! Go right through you.
Oh, yeah.
We hand off to White. White, he's got a first down, and the Panthers look like they may be in goal territory here with about 3:13 to go as they will move the chains.
I really have to thank our talented cameraman, Mark Lehman, for bringing an extra hat because I didn't have the foresight to bring one myself. And I'm pretty sure if I wasn't wearing this hat, my ears would have fallen off already.
Great tackle there in the backfield for Salem. Glenn Gard drives White back for a loss, and it's Isaiah's first negative run on the day.
Well, as you get closer and closer to the goal line, it's harder to pick up yards. That field becomes very short. You can't, blow the top off, as they say in the passing game, and it becomes very tough to move the ball once you get inside, that 15-yard line.
2nd and 12. Man throwing the pitch to Peter Malumba.
Cut it inside. There you go.
Cuts it back up. And he's going to be, it's a little assist from the Salem defense as Malumba is right at the 10-yard line. We got 3rd down. The Panthers can pick up a first down here. They do not need to score.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see another pass play here, Eric.
And Isaiah White's going to take the snap here. And he's going to run to his right, flag on the play, and hit again in the backfield. Jimenez on the tackle. We'll see what the flag is.
Looks like it's going to be holding on the Panthers. I would look for Salem to decline this. and make the Panthers kick a field goal here. Oh, wow.
And that is going to go from
bad.
a kick to the Panthers are probably going to have to go for
Hail
it
Mary.
here.
Well, you know what this calls for, Eric? One of Roger Today's patented trick plays.
Yep.
4th and 25, last game of the year. Throw the kitchen sink at them.
Doesn't look like it's as severe loss of yardage here as originally.
Well, let's see what they're doing
Salem
here.
may have waved that off as the referee went over to the Salem sideline.
Because if it was
The
during the
referees-
play, so it would be, I think they would repeat 3rd down. And I think
And they have declined the penalty, and
Yeah,
so the referee
so-
signaled to Coach Bauer on the Beverly sideline. So Beverly have another crack at it here on 3rd down.
well, that
Or
seems
excuse me,
strange.
fourth,
Should be
excuse me,
fourth.
4th down.
Yeah.
4th down. So referee put up the fist to signal 4th down. That's what I get for staring at the volunteer yard markers over there.
The yard marker. The announcer's mortal enemy.
Yeah. So here we go, 4th down for Beverly. 2:03 to go.
They're
Panthers
going for it here.
have a 2-score lead. And that's a false start
Oh,
on
my
Beverly.
goodness.
As someone, that may have been Isaiah White, did a little hip shake. So pushes them back even further. So what seemed like the game is trying to pick up again goes back to its sloppiness here in the second quarter.
It's taken about 20 minutes to play this past 4 minutes, where I think
Don't you
the
guys
first
know
quarter.
it's freezing out here? Let's go. Come on.
Let's keep this clock rolling.
4th and 21. Manthorn to the air.
Throw it.
Looks towards the end zone, and that ball's incomplete. And Salem will take over here, and they have an opportunity. If they can move the ball here and put one in, they will be receiving to start the second half.
Yep.
So a score is on the Witch's mind here. They'll take over at the 20-yard line, 21-yard line officially. Less than 2 minutes to go in the half. Connolly has been effective through the air as well as on the ground. Panthers are going to take a timeout here.
Coach Bauer, I'm sure, just wants to make sure all his ducks in a row here. 2 minutes left. You don't want to let him a big play. You want to make sure Salem does not get any points on this last drive.
Salem has 3 timeouts, and the clock will stop momentarily on any first downs as they will reset the change, and obviously on out-of-bounds plays, the clock will stop as well. Panthers defense has forced a fumble. They've played strong throughout the quarter. Salem has really only strung together one real good drive.
Yeah.
And it was Peter Malumba who sacked Connolly in the backfield on 4th down. Full timeout was taken there by Beverly.
And the wind really picking up here.
I can't even tell what direction it's really going.
I mean,
it
I'd
just
say
seems like
everywhere.
it's swirling around here.
It's tough.
So we're set to go here. 1st and 10 from the 21. Connolly in that pistol set look. And he will hand it off there to Rosario.
Great job by the Beverly defense staying home there. DN keep it contained and making a great play there. Tackle for about a 3-yard loss. So Coach Bauer may be thinking about getting the ball back here before halftime, trying to put some more points on the board with that timeout.
Be interesting to see if the Panthers do get the ball back here. Who will go in at quarterback to run your probably minute offense to go in? Do you go with Nick Manthorn, the senior, has been the starter for most of the year? Or do you give it to Flaherty and see what he can do with his athleticism?
I mean, it all depends on what you're looking for. Flaherty definitely gives you a little wrinkle just with his feet. He's a better runner than Manthorn. Definitely an athlete at the quarterback position. But like you said, Manthorn, the seasoned vet, been there for most of the year. it'll be interesting to see if they do get the ball back, who comes out. But they've been switching pretty steadily each series. So,
and you did not see that in the Danvers game. That was Flaherty's game from the first snap. Salem comes back out. 2nd and 13, 1:44 to go, unofficially. One man comes across in motion. And this will be Connolly with it. He's got a lot of room in front of him. He is down the sideline and will be driven out of bounds by Kozlowski. But that is exactly what Salem needed here, giving themselves an opportunity here. They still have 3 timeouts to go.
Big gain there by Salem. Conley with a great keeper. You know, it's that zone read again. He decides to keep it. Huge run. Might have been holding on the outside. Jordy Rodding looked like he was getting help a little bit, but flag seemed to have stayed in the ref's pocket.
So here we go, 1st and 10 from the 48. Salem knocking on Beverly territory. Connolly, tough time handling his snap. Here's punt, thrown, and almost intercepted by Kastronakis as Morency came flying in.
Morency.
You've seen Connolly's had to really bend down to get a lot of those snaps throughout the morning, as that one actually hit the ground and Morency came in. The Panthers love sending that backside backer.
Oh yeah, coming in hot.
So pass falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Rosario comes in motion. Connolly will keep it. He's across the 50, down to the almost 40-yard line.
That'll be enough for the first down.
Enough for a first down.
Stops the clock while they move the chains. Plenty of time here for Salem to put something together.
Ball got set very quickly.
Yep.
As I didn't think Salem knew that the play had really started. They figured that they would have more of a get up and a go. Here comes Palmer. And he is ahead, and Salem will take a timeout here. Still over a minute unofficially on the clock.
Good run on first down by Palmer, but it really has been all Connolly on this drive. 2 big runs for the Witches.
Don't see too many quarterbacks wearing number 25, and when Flaherty's in the game, you don't see many quarterbacks wearing 33.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. Usually single digits or low teens.
So a full timeout here. Jay, the Panthers are going to be graduating some guys maybe in some spots. Duguid, Winston, Isaiah, Sam Malumba, Kozlowski, Donovan, kind of guys in the secondary who have had a real big impact. Also losing Nate Higgins, a first-year starter on the offensive line as well. But I think you got to feel good about where the Panthers are headed based on the play of a lot of their younger guys.
Especially you see their sophomores are just unbelievable. And I mean, this senior class has done such a great job. A lot of leaders on this team. And you saw that when Beverly kind of swooned at the beginning of the year. Tough start. I think they started 1-3 or 1-4 and really turned it around after that Gloucester loss, the first one. Coming back from the bye, beating Marblehead, and a lot of these seniors are going to be missed.
Connolly to pass, dancing in the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run. Peter Malumba is there. A big stiff arm by Connolly, and he's got another Salem first down. So again, that'll stop the clock momentarily until the ball is spotted. And clock is moving here. Ball at the 24, 1st and 10. Low snap, Connolly picks it up, throws towards the sideline, complete and out of bounds. Shaky White on the reception for Salem. Goes out of bounds, will bring up 2nd and 6 here.
Salem not afraid to throw the ball in this first half.
Ball at the 20. Salem started this drive inside, right around on their 21-yard line. So they've moved the ball well here. They picked things up with just under 2 minutes to go. Connolly handles the snap, throws out, and Kastronakis again. That's twice. Jimmy's had an opportunity at it.
That 2 times, ball right in his hands. So that's a tough one, though.
Third and 6 here for Salem. We'll see if Salem elects to go to the air again. They still have, I believe, 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
The scoreboard has already reset the timeouts.
Yeah, which I don't understand why.
Connolly to pass. Punt
great.
fake, throws towards the sidelines. Threw it in a spot where it was going to go, but White, maybe some miscommunication there, but that ball was inbounds.
Well, you know, he was trying to throw it to the pylon, and the receiver really couldn't beat his coverage there, but you know, he put it in a place where, you know, if his guy wasn't going to get it, no one was. So it's always a smart play when the quarterback decides to do that.
So another big 4th down play as we're going to have a timeout taken by Salem here. 4th and 6, Jay, about 36 seconds to go. If they figure Salem has maybe one more timeout, that if they could pick it up here on Beverly on defense, are they playing coverage all the way, or are they going to try to send some pressure?
I wouldn't be surprised if they try and send some pressure, make Connolly, you know, try and make a quick decision if they are passing the ball. The thing is, though, he's so good on his feet that you got to make sure you keep contained. You don't want to let him get on the outside and run for that 1st down.
Jimmy Kastronakis has had a couple opportunities at some balls here on this drive. 2 near interceptions. Junior inside linebacker number 56. Him and Sean Winston have both been forces throughout the year. So here we go. 4th and 6, Connolly will hand it off to Palmer. He's on his feet. He's got a 1st down.
Oh, he's
and
in.
More, and he is going to go in. And a big play there by Salem with under 30 seconds to go. And it was exactly what Salem needed, because they will be getting the ball back to start the 2nd half.
We've got a ball game, folks. Great blocking on the outside by the Witches, and huge play for Salem right there. Getting right back in this game, 14-6. Going to try and convert this extra point, make it 14-7.
And you have to figure that, you know, what time is left on the clock, that Salem is not going to want to get the ball back to those Beverly return men, and they're going to squib that thing on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him kick off, the first kickoff, straight shot right at Joey Kolowski.
Kick is blocked,
That's blocked.
And
forward progress, not going to be a safety.
And they're going to say it is no good with 19 seconds to go. Your score, Beverly 14, Salem 6. Salem drives 79 yards to punch one in. Connolly huge on that drive, and then it was Palmer on a big 4th and 6 play. Gives us 14-6. So, Jay, kind of cut you off there on the kick. Do you expect Salem maybe to do what they did on that first one? I mean, that gives Beverly okay field position, and Beverly's been able to score on big plays, and they've really been able to dominate the run game early here.
Yeah, no, I definitely would not be surprised if they squib it here again. Yeah, I mean, we always talk about the 3-headed monster they have back there, and Malumba, White, and Madden, and athletes on the field like those guys. You know, you don't want to give them a chance to run one back here. So
it's interesting to see where Matt Madden is, as Jordy Rotting has taken his spot. Him, Rotting, White, and Sam Malumba are at the 15. Matt Madden is at the 35-yard line.
And I'm telling you right now, do not kick the ball to Jordy Rotting. That kid's got some wheels.
And Sam Malumba's going to have an opportunity to return it here. And he's going to have a great block, and they're going to throw a flag. That is going to come back as Sam Malumba again has had some electric kickoff returns.
He really has. Just a great athlete for the Panthers.
I'm going to be honest. I mean, it's probably going to come back for holding, but it looked like a good block there. And it may have been Morency on that return.
Yeah.
But it looked good.
It looked good. I didn't really see a hold there.
So I figure the Panthers will just run one play here, hang on to the football, and this will probably be the last play of the half. They mark the ball at the 21. Flaherty's in at quarterback. And they're going to get a sweep here and try to get Madden to the outside.
Oh boy,
flag on the play. And Madden is finally out of bounds. We'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, that's a big hold on the outside.
So we're going to have one more play here, and this will probably now be the last one of the half. Scoreboard shows 3 seconds. I figure, Beverly will probably go with some type of maybe sweep again, try to get some of their athletes out to the outside. But you have seen Peter Columbus had a lot of success going up the middle
and
as well.
And for a bigger guy, he's got blazing speed in the open field. We saw it in that North Andover game. Once he's out there, he's got some big-time speed.
And it's going to be handoff to Peter. And he's going to be met immediately and driven back. And that will wrap things up here in the first half. The score, Beverly 14, Salem 6. We're here at the 115th game at Bertram Field. Eric Campbell, Jay Norton will be back with our second half thoughts and, our second half preview and our first half thoughts. Welcome back. Second half kickoff just moments away here. Beverly 14, Salem 6. Isaiah White, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards. He's over 1,700 for the season. Your thoughts on Isaiah and the Beverly offense?
He had a great half so far. Beverly's offense looked to be really getting things rolling in that first quarter. Kind of stalled out in the second, though. Beverly's going to have to, pick things up, play a little bit more soundly. The penalties really hurt them in that second quarter.
Madden's kick going to be received. One lone deep man there for Salem. And he will be wrapped up and dragged down. Turned wing fall.
Yeah, it's a good open field tackle by Christian Miller.
Chase Salem coming alive. They punched one in with under a minute to go, a 79-yard drive. Austin Connolly has been very impressive. Your thoughts on him and the rest of the Salem offense?
Yeah, Conley, Palmer, they're doing a great job. I mean, you really, after those 2 quick Beverly scores, you couldn't have asked for a better rest of the first half for Salem. They played tight defense. Beverly had a lot of mistakes, and 2 minutes left in the first half. Salem put one in the end zone.
Here comes Palmer trying to turn the edge. He is dragged down by who else but Isaiah White in the backfield. Will bring up second and no gain on the play.
Zach Dugan in on the tackle as well.
Jay, sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
That's all right. I was just going to say good start for the Panther defense in the second half, but go ahead.
And that's exactly where I was going to think about the Beverly defense and your thoughts on how they've been able to contain and only allow 6 points on the scoreboard so far.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Palmer will be met again, and Beverly defense playing very well here. Let's bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, no, and they've done a great job this game. They've been doing a really good job on the edges, containing the Salem runners, and really haven't let up too many big drives. Of the biggest one, obviously, the last one with just under 2 minutes left, Salem drove 79 yards for the score.
3rd and 10, ball at the 27. Connolly not afraid to throw the ball, so we'll see what he likes to do in the wind. One man comes in motion. Connolly will go back to pass. He'll just have to throw it out and out of bounds, as in applying the pressure was Kastronakis. It'll bring up 4th down here, and Salem will jog out the punt unit here as Beverly, a big stop for them on the opening drive.
Great opening series for their defense. Did a good job holding Salem. 4th and 10 coming up, and putting pressure on the quarterback on that last play is exactly what Coach Bauer wants to see, starting out from his defense.
Beverly's going to have to burn a timeout here as they were all sorts of screwed up. Christian Miller, he's the only deep man right now, as Isaiah White has usually been that secondary punt returner.
Yeah, we have seen that in past games, second half of the year, having 2 punt returners, one guy kind of in the middle of the field, and another one back deep.
Miller back at his own 40. Panthers look like they may be trying to bring the heat here on this block, and here they come. And the kick is terrible. That may go backwards.
That did go backwards,
That
Eric.
went
That's
backwards.
a loss of about 5 yards.
And I could not think of a worse start for Salem in the second half.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, and it's really, the wind's brutal. I mean, yeah, obviously
No
it
fault
was
of
a
his
horrible
own,
punt, but
wow.
I mean, you kick it straight up in the air in this wind, bad things are going to happen. But that's going to make that kid feel pretty bad.
So Panthers now 1st and 10. They'll start from Salem's 21. Man thrown in at quarterback, hands it off to Isaiah White, trying to add to his total. I said in the beginning that Isaiah has a realistic shot of getting over 1,800 yards for the season, and he needs less than 100 now at this point.
After that one, he needs about probably 70, 75 yards to get up over 1,800.
Here's White again.
Oh,
he's inside the 5, and Isaiah White for the 3rd time today punches one in, the double deuce.
Love seeing the double deuce score again there.
And
3 touchdowns on the day, Eric. He really wants that scoring title.
And his offensive line comes over and shakes his hand. And Isaiah, as he shakes their hand, gives them a little bow, as they have been doing great work for Isaiah. They've opened up a lot of holes for him this morning.
Yeah, the O-line has played great so far. Good to see Beverly coming out strong. You can tell, I'm sure they got chewed out a little bit in the locker room, after that second quarter. But coming out strong, starting the second half just like they did the first half, scoring on their first possession.
Madden's kick is no good, and the score with 9:52 to go in the 3rd quarter. The score, Beverly 20, Salem 6. Isaiah White goes in for his 3rd touchdown of the game, giving him 26 on the year.
And also helps one of the Beverly High School football team doctors. Please join us in welcoming Dr. Doug Peterson.
I know you guys at home didn't see it, but the Beverly band did a great job today. And they've got their new snazzy uniforms out.
New digs.
I like them a lot.
And if I know some of the band parents listen to our broadcast, I think the band needs to play more of their halftime songs in games.
I like it.
Loved that their Boston tribute that they started doing kind of midway through the year.
Yeah, I think they
loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
Absolutely. And the North Andover game is the first game they did it, because
they kill
I
it.
shot up. I was writing, and I think I was playing a game on my phone, and I stopped what I was doing to listen to it, and I turned to you, and I was like, we need more of this.
Oh, yeah.
We need more.
Yeah, they really do a fantastic job there.
Madden will kick, and it is a squib. Will bounce at the 15 and roll all the way into the end zone, and that will go for a touchback.
And that was very strange. You see where Madden kicked off? He kicked off from the right hash. It's very weird to see. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
All right, folks, here's your winning 50-50 raffle tickets.
What do you think the 50-50 pot is?
Oh, a couple G's. Probably like $2,000.
We'll see if they announce it.
I hate that. I hate it when they give you the blue and red tickets. Give me one ticket color, please.
At least give me a little hope.
Give me
a little hope.
I know it's only for about a second longer, but still.
Palmer
Nothing
with
worse.
it, and he is dragged down by Dugan. Ball's loose, and they whistled him down as Sam Malumba had a 100% chance of a scoop and score there.
Reservations for 6. If
Absolutely. About second and scoreboard says 7, but there's no way that is 2nd and 7. Probably about 2nd and
it's 5.
Long 5 here.
Yeah.
Connolly
Five.
to Palmer again, and Isaiah White is there, but Palmer shakes him off, still on his feet, and he is finally brought down just about maybe a half yard short of a first down.
Great run by Palmer there, breaking the tackle. Isaiah White, usually a sure tackler for the Panthers. Bringing up 3rd and short. Big 3rd down here for Salem. Again, they're in their own territory, so if they don't get this, might be tough to go for it. Look for a punt.
Beverly again up 20-6 here. Palmer looks like he's got a first down.
Yeah, he got it. You need to get past the 30-yard line.
First down.
So Salem's going to have to string together a nice drive here. They need to be taking away points here. Connolly 1st and 10 from the 30. He'll go to pass, and he is crushed again, but it's complete for a big gain. And that was to number 11, Wingfall with it.
Madden laying the wood there.
Excuse me, Shaky White. Brings it up to the 46.
We have really been blessed there with some fantastic names on the opposing teams. Bubba Shalou, Shaky White.
I think Bubba Shalou might be my favorite.
I might name my firstborn child Bubba Shalou.
Connolly with it, he'll hand it off to Palmer. He is just about at the 50-yard line.
Palmer with the carry, a gain of 4 yards, brings it right up to the 50-yard line.
Make it 2nd and 6 for Salem. One year we should do an all-name team.
Oh, that's happening.
Mark it down. Next year.
Yep. Get ready, folks.
We'll bring you
the all-name team.
The all-name team.
Next year at Herd Stadium, we'll announce it.
Colony rolls to his right, and he's going to tuck it and run here. He's got a first down as he lowers his shoulder, driven out of bounds near the Beverly sideline. Nick Donovan over there. And Salem has put together a few first downs here. They've been able to move the ball effectively after a terrible first drive.
102 years old.
Let's give a round of applause to Mel DeVoe, everybody. The PA announcer announcing that he is here at the game. 102 years old, has not missed a Beverly Salem game since 1920.
That's an impressive streak as Salem moves here, and they'll bump it back 5 yards. I believe they honored Mel
a few years ago
at Herd.
They named the entrance Mel DeVoe Way, going into Herd Stadium. 102 years old.
False start and Salem make it 1st and 15 from the 47. Connolly has been in the shotgun pretty much all morning. Shaky White goes in motion. Palmer with it, and a mishap on the. Oh, excuse me, Connolly.
Yeah,
kept
Connolly
it.
with the keeper.
He pulled it at the last minute, had me fooled. And he runs that option read.
He does
very well.
He runs it great. Pulls it at the last second always, and good job there. Only about a pickup of 2, maybe 3 yards.
I think he may have even faked Palmer out.
He faked me. I was looking at Palmer as well.
Connolly was able to gain 3 yards, setting up a screen here, and Zach Dugan over with the tackle, as I thought Zach may have had an opportunity maybe to pick that off.
Zach, and from his DN spot, he's just one of those kids who's just all over the field. Great sideline to sideline speed.
Third and about 12, 13 yards here, ball on the 45. 6:35 to go, Beverly 20, Salem 6. 115th edition, one of the nation's oldest high school rivalries. Eric Campbell, Jay Norton here from a brand new Bertram Field. New turf. It is Salem's 3rd game that they've played here on the turf, and still in search of their first win. Palmer, the pass back to Connolly. Connolly has
forward pass.
One man, and Kozlowski can't make the play. And Salem is going to go in. No flags on the play.
That is ridiculous.
Going in for the score.
That was a forward pass from Palmer to Conley. Oh, I think the ref threw a flag. Okay, good.
We have a flag is down on the play.
Good.
Goes against Salem. We'll bring it back.
Yep. Glad to see that flag.
That could have been an Abington call right there.
That could have been it. Oh, yeah.
As they will call it back, an illegal forward pass.
And it clearly was. I mean, no doubt about it.
As we really saw that, I mean, granted, we're above here, but you saw that coming from a mile away, and Beverly had the defenders down the field. But I mean, Colony forced that in there.
Threw a good ball.
Kozlowski was there in the coverage.
He threw a good ball. So the big thing, though, was the missed tackles after he caught it. And that's a huge, huge momentum swing, you know, in Beverly's direction. You know, you hit a big play like that, it gets brought back on a penalty, and it takes a lot of wind out of your sails.
In comparison to the years, you know, one thing that I really saw the Beverly defense struggle with over the last few years is not gang tackling, and a lot of guys were picking up yards after contact, and Beverly's been able to pick that up. I still always think it's a work in progress for them, for all teams, but it seems like they've really improved their tackling over the last few years. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I mean they're a very good tackling team. They really tackle well in the open field, which is a very hard thing to do. They always have great gang tackling. I mean, the defense, they play with such a motor, and as all good defenses do, but you see it, like I said earlier, like look at a guy like Zach Duguid. He's always around the ball. Sean Winston, Jimmy Castronakis, these are guys that, even if they're not making that first hit, they're always in on the tackle.
Snap is handled, and the ball is now loose. And what a pop that was, and it was 4th and 30. And Beverly, this is now two times in this third quarter, Salem has gone to kick, and it's ended terribly for them.
And vicious collision by two Salem players, number 80 and the punter. Rough stuff.
Beverly takes over again in tremendous field position. And Brian Flaherty will jog back out.
Yeah, starting off at the Salem 32. Can't ask for a better field position than that.
Beverly has definitely won the field position game today. They have been fortunate throughout the game. Flaherty will hand it off to Isaiah White. He's well over 100 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns on the day, and he is dragged down. No gain will bring up 2nd and 10. Again, ball at the 31. They'll mark him for a loss of a yard, so it is now 2nd and 11. Flaherty going quick here. It'll hand off, going straight up the middle. Looked like that was Isaiah.
Great blocking up front. Made a nice hole for White, ran right up the middle. Nice gain of about 6 there, making it 3rd and 5 for the Panthers.
Flaherty to Miller. Christian Miller. And he has enough for a first down, made it by about 2 yards. And
looking like Miller, remind me of Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Almost looks uncomfortable unless he's hitting someone.
First down for Beverly, they're at the 26. Pitch, again. Miller again, and he spins and is going to be dragged down in the backfield. Christian Costa, number 2, in on the tackle. 4-yard loss, bring up 2nd and 14 for Beverly. .4:35 to go here, third quarter. And a fumble scooped up by White as they were looking to run that reverse there, which has worked a few times this morning.
Yeah, it has. And bringing up 3rd and long here, wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pass. Beverly's in kind of a tough spot. I think with this wind, out of field goal range.
I think we have that potential trick play coming.
I'd love it. I would love
Nick
it.
Nick Manthorn in under center. Flaherty split out wide.
Ooh. Toss pass again.
And here it is.
There it is.
And
toss pass.
It's going to be Matt Madden. He's open. Flaherty underthrows him. Madden goes up, and he almost pulled that down.
Well, I think saying Matt Madden was open was a little aggressive there, Eric.
He was open for a minute.
Almost a great catch, though, in the triple coverage. That's a great play, but, they saw that coming, and there's only one route out of there, so not a lot of options. So big fourth down here.
Panthers like to go for it.
Yeah, you got to here. You're not going to punt on, the 25.
Flaherty to pass,
screen.
and ball is stripped, and he is driven back, and Salem will start with their best field position here the second half, as it's a turnover on downs.
And ironically, the ball starts in the same spot where Salem left off, the 32-yard line.
So Connolly will come back out.
And I'll be honest, it's a little too cold to continue with these passing plays. Let's run this clock down and get home, eat some turkey.
Connolly in the gun, Palmer to his right. Shaky White comes across in motion. Will be hand off to Palmer, leaps over defender. Nolasco is there to make the tackle. It's like about a gain of 5. Sam Malumba there as well. They give him 4 officially, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and Salem's been able to move the ball in this Beverly defense at times.
Rosario with it, trying to get to the outside. He's got some blockers in front. He's down the sidelines and he steps out, but he's got enough for a Salem first down.
Good blocking on the edge there by the Salem offense, giving Rosario plenty of room there to make a big run into Beverly territory.
Salem with a real strong backfield, Palmer, Connolly, and Rosario. They've been able to, they just haven't been able to do it consistently enough.
Well, it's hard to key on all those guys. Like, you see in Beverly's offense so much, it's like, who do you try and stop? When you run that read option, it's kind of the same thing. When you got an athlete like Connolly playing quarterback, it can make that hard for a defense.
And a good stick there by Sean Winston, and also there was Matt Madden. And Jay, why don't you talk a little bit about what the quarterback is doing for that read option, and what he is looking at on the defense to make his read?
Well, what he's looking at is usually the defensive end. You will not block the defensive end. That's the read guy. So whatever the defensive end decides to do, if he sits and waits there and doesn't move, then you're handing that ball off or keeping, or quarterback, as a lot of their runs are designed for the quarterback to hold on to it and run up the middle. So you see the quarterback keep there. And it all depends on the guy they're reading. And if, say, he crashes down, then they might hand off to the running back and run outside. So
ball to the 47. 3rd and 8 here for Salem into Beverly territory. Connolly, throwback pass. Connolly with it. Now he'll choose to run it. And he is down the sideline. He's going to have a first down and more as Sean Winston drives them out of bounds.
That was a huge play on 3rd down, Eric. And clearly Coach Connolly playing for keeps, not holding anything back in this game. Few trick plays we've seen so far today.
Salem desperate for a score here.
They get one here, right back in the game. Puts back in a 1-score game.
1:39 to go in the 3rd quarter. Stands remain packed despite the cold temperatures. No one is going anywhere yet. Connolly trying to run the option. Does a great job of that. Ball comes loose.
We got it.
And Kozlowski is on it, and the Panthers recover.
And again, turnover at inopportune times for the Salem Witches. Like I said, there's a reason this team's 2-8. And you turn the ball over at key points in the game like this, it's tough to win ball games.
Joey Kozlowski from the safety position scoops up the loose ball, and the Panthers again cause the turnover, and they'll pick things up here. 1st and 10 on their own 22-yard line. 1:32 to go in the 3rd. Manthorn in at quarterback. Hands it off to Christian Miller. Now the ball comes loose, and Salem's got it now. And Cuss just scoops it up.
Never a dull moment here, Eric. Never a dull moment.
And again, that sounded like a pretty good hit. Helmet on
the
ball
thing
there.
is, the hit came from behind. And so as a ball carrier, you're never really expecting to get a helmet from behind like that. And it just pushed the ball right out.
So Salem gets it right back in very good field position here. Ball just around the 35, 34-yard line. And it's a fumble Ruski.
And it's going to work.
It's going to work. It's going to pick up a lot of yards as Zach Dugan drags down number
tackle.
1 there by Salem. Slattery with it. Jay, you weren't kidding about Coach Connolly here.
Yeah.
Everything. What else you got? I'm excited to see what the next play is going to be.
Days out here.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So that I think Fresno State ran that at a game against New Mexico. The poor New Mexico defense had not a clue, what was going on. So hand off to Palmer, and he's able to generate some positive yards there. Just under a minute to go here, 2nd and 4.
Salem knocking on the door here.
Inside the Panther 20. Connolly in the shotgun. He will hand it off to Palmer. Palmer. This is Matt Panthers. A lot of gang tackling there.
A nice pickup of about 3.5, 4 yards. Going to bring up third and 2, I think. 2.5 maybe. Looks like there'll be one more play left in the quarter here. Time winding down, just under 25 seconds left.
Connolly fakes it, throws, sticks again, was able to come to Class Rosario, and that fumble goes able to advance to the 1 yard line. That thing did not go into the end zone.
You're right, exactly. Because if that goes in the end zone and then out of bounds, that's a touchback and it's Beverly ball.
Connolly took another pop there as Peter Malumba came in, face mask to face mask, but Connolly pops right back up. So the Witches has the opportunity to push it in. They actually pushed the ball back to the 5. The original spot after the fumble was at the 1, but they'll move it back
to where he fumbled it.
Connolly to Palmer loses the ball, but Connolly jumps back on it.
It's a dangerous game with those zone reads. You're going to hold on to the ball as long as Connolly does.
A late flag in on the play, so the quarter may not be over yet. We'll see what happens and what the call is. If it's against the defense, we'll have one more play in the quarter. If against the offense, we'll switch ends. Coach Bowers out on the field. It's against Beverly.
So the call is
unsportsmanlike conduct. I saw there were some Panthers who jumped in late.
It looks like Sam Malumba looks very upset.
So it's going to be half the distance, and that is going to be the quarter.
That's an automatic first down, too.
Thought there would be one more play in the third quarter. And the referees are going to walk it off. That'll be inside the 5 yard line. So they're working on the spot here. But the third quarter is complete here for Birchwood Field, the 115th meeting between Beverly and Salem, and the score, Beverly 20, Salem 6. Jay, that third quarter had a lot of action, it seems like, in a very short amount of time. Those last few minutes was very exciting. What you see in that third quarter?
Well, you saw, two Salem teams. We saw they came out, 3 and out, couldn't do anything on offense. Beverly defense looking great. And then you see the Salem team that can drive the ball. We're running trick plays and then getting the job done. Turnovers by both Beverly and Salem. A little bit of a sloppy quarter in that aspect. But all in all, some good football here. And Salem's going to make this a game. They're knocking on the door here. Out about, looks like the 4 yard line, just inside the 5. And, this game's not close to being over.
Our final 12 minutes of the year here. We have an opportunity. Want to thank everyone for tuning into our broadcast week to week. Believe it or not, we do have a strong following, Jay.
Yes, we do.
People do like us, so Robert is forced to keep us on.
My mom tells me that every week.
Palmer is driven back for a big loss. Isaiah White, Sam Malumba over there for the tackle. 2nd and goal still, but lost about 5 or 6 yards there. And I believe BevCamp is looking for hockey announcers still. So if you are interested in hopping on board with the BevCamp, it's a great organization to do some volunteering work for. They have a very dedicated staff, show you all the ropes and everything.
And it's a lot of fun.
I have a blast.
I love
doing blast doing the games, and I'm looking forward to the basketball season with Andy. It should be a great year for the boys. I know Alex Saluco, the BevCamp 6-man, does girls volleyball. He did the play-by-play for the
pass.
Powder puff as it's a pass. Shaky White out of the end zone, incomplete.
Foot coming down out of bounds.
BevCamp always looking for volunteers. If you're interested in finding out more information, bevcamp.org, brand new website to check out as well. And check it out, get involved. Even if it's not with a athletic program, there's plenty of other opportunities.
Absolutely,
So
they always do a great job covering, election coverage. This is past election with the mayoral debate, or mayoral debate, and then the city council races.
3rd and goal. Connolly rolling, looking, and Anthony Nolasco and Sam Malumba over there. Anthony's had a couple big plays here in the second half, and a great job there by number 85. Who again, the last 2 games, Anthony Nolasco has elevated his game, and it brings up a big 4th down here. Jay, is it too early to say this 4th down is the ball game? 10:48 to go.
Yes, it is. It is too early.
I don't know. I
know you want to, and it's cold, and my toes feel like they're gonna fall off, but we can't call it yet. Beverly puts another one in. If they stop here, put another one in, it's over. But until then,
still a big 4th down, no matter how you slice it, though.
Big 4th down here.
Connolly handles the snap.
Oh, look at the backside.
Throws back, and it is incomplete. And the Panthers get off the field again on a 4th down. They'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 11.
That's a historic Salem play right there. They're running a rollout to the right or left and then throwing a backside screen. It's something the Witches have run for a long time in their story program.
Just past noon here.
NFL game should be starting up soon. I think, what do we got first? Lions, Green Bay, or is it Dallas, Oakland? Lions game's first, we're being told. I know my main man Reggie Bush is going to have a big day. Take my fantasy team.
Take you to the ship.
Yeah, exactly.
As Isaiah White has another long run. He's out just about to the 1st down marker. It's going to be 2nd and short here.
Beverly O-line continues to do a great job opening up holes for the Beverly backs.
White again into the secondary, and he is across the 30-yard line. Good enough for a Panther
big
first down.
Numbers again, and he's been ripping off 10, 12-yard runs. I mean, he's got to be coming close to 200. Yeah, the 200-yard marker.
See if he can get some stats. But Isaiah White also had a single-game Panther record. He rushed for over 300 yards in the North Andover game.
Yeah, it really has been a great season for the Double Deuce.
Second and 5 here.
Salem D's playing strong here. Not giving up too much on that carry, maybe gain him a yard. Big 3rd down for the Panthers. just over 9 minutes left in the game here at Bertram Field. Panthers 20, which is 6 right now.
No update on stats yet. Ball on the ground, and Salem
like
signaling
Salem
they have it. And that's the call. Salem gets the ball back here. Trying to count how many fumbles we've had combined. 6?
It's close. We had the 2 down that end, the 3 in this, in the past few minutes alone. There's been a lot of fumbles, not necessarily turnovers, but on Salem's had a few fumbles on that punt, that muff punt. But yeah, it's been a fumble-loaded game, definitely.
Salem picks it up here, 1st and 10 from Beverly's 35. Peter Malumba in the backfield. Connolly with the great spin move. Peter Malumba able to get him from behind, but Peter Malumba, he has been in the backfield a number of times.
Connolly, he's quick, man. Did a great job spinning out of there and gaining about 5 yards before Malumba could run him down. And I told you, not over yet. They didn't convert on that 4th down. And
that's why you're smart, Jay.
Yeah, that's what I tell myself every morning when I wake up and look in the mirror.
2nd and 5 here from the 30. Connolly keeps it. He's got a 1st down and able to dive ahead for an extra few yards. Stop the clock momentarily here. It is 8:19, but when that ball gets spotted, referee will wind the clock and it'll continue to move.
Yeah, and Beverly's defense really stiffens up once Salem gets in the red zone. They've had a few trips down there this game, but they've only come away with 1 touchdown.
Salem still has 117 timeouts to burn here in the 4th quarter. It's a handoff to Rosario. Rosario not used as much as I thought he would be coming into the game.
Yeah, I thought he would definitely be we would see a heavy dose of him, but it's been, Conley and Palmer mostly.
2nd and 5. Connolly hands it off to Palmer. Palmer inside the 20, just about to the 10-yard line.
Looks to be just short of a 1st down. Are they going to? Oh, they are going to move the chains. Okay.
There. So ball will be at the 12-yard line where it's going to be marked here. And again, Salem has struggled in this area. Connolly to Palmer. Palmer tries to lower his shoulder, but he has stood up and stopped right around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, great job by the Beverly defense.
Ryan Garrity, who makes the tackle, had a great game earlier this year against Swampscott.
Never forget that almost pick. I'm sure he still thinks about it too.
Connolly, Palmer to his left. Rosario comes across in motion.
Oh, false start.
And flag thrown on the play.
Backing him up.
He'll push Salem back 5 yards on the false start. Remains 2nd down, 6:29 to go. Beverly up 20-6 here. The 115th game of this rivalry. And I know all of you are very curious. Wellesley is still beating Needham, 22-6 in the 126th meeting.
Very deeply about the Wellesley-Needham
There
rivalry.
are plenty of people who watch BevCam who care about how Wellesley athletics do. I can guarantee it. Shaky White comes in motion. Connolly behind off the Palmer, darts to the left. And some good blocking on the outside, and he's dragged down inside the 10-yard line. He'll bring up 3rd down.
Yep, big 3rd down coming up again. An interesting tidbit here, out of the 114 prior games, none have been played on turf. So this is the first Beverly Salem Thanksgiving Day game played on a turf field.
Witnessing history.
Exactly, folks. I always say it, in storied programs like Beverly and Salem, whenever you can be a part of a first, it's very special.
Connolly fakes
he's
the
wide
handoff,
open.
throws wide open,
He
dropped it. Rosario dropped a sure touchdown.
I mean, the ball was thrown a little behind him, but you got to catch that. It's Thanksgiving, man. This is it.
And it was a great play call again, as Beverly's defense definitely started to suck up the field, and Connolly dumped that pass to Rosario.
And Coach Scott Connolly has been calling a great game. He's really throwing the kitchen sink at Coach Bauer's defense. A lot of trick plays, a lot of play action. I'm still waiting for that Statue of Liberty play, though, but it's coming. Trust me, it's coming.
And Salem's going to take a 20-second timeout here.
Again, they do not need to score a touchdown on this play. They need to get it past the 2-yard line to pick up another first down.
So do you think in a situation like that, Salem seems to move the ball pretty well on the ground so far? Are they looking for, maybe to do another option read, have Connolly
they could.
make
I wouldn't
the
be
call
surprised
himself?
if we see a play action or a rollout. Let Connolly, give him a run-pass option because he is such a great athlete. I'd be surprised if we saw any type of screen like they did earlier on the last 4th down. It was kind of a surprising call.
So here we go, 4th and 6.
It looks like it's going to be a pass here.
Connolly sends a man in motion, and Coach Bauer's going to take a timeout here as he's got enough of that look and probably didn't like what he saw here.
Beverly.
So with the timeouts, we're going back and forth here. Does that make the Salem sideline change anything that they do?
I was just going to bring that up. It's always a chess match, so it's a punch-counter-punch type situation, and we'll see if Coach Connolly on the Salem sideline changes the play or sticks with it. That's why it's so great seeing quarterbacks like Manning and Brady go up against each other, because it's constant changing and audibles on the line of scrimmage, and you've got linebackers changing the defensive calls.
So here we go now, 4th and 6. White in motion. Connolly will go to the air, throws towards the end zone, falls incomplete, and the Beverly defense holds again on 4th down, and they will take over 1st and 10 from their own 9.
Beverly's defense, comes to play once that ball gets inside the 20. They have a great red zone defense this whole game. 5 minutes left. This is an offensive lineman. This is what you live for. Call it the 4-minute drill. You got, 4 or 5 minutes left in the game. Can you run the clock out? You need to pick up first downs, keep that clock moving. It's really, what you pride yourself in as an O-lineman.
And hang on to the football for those Beverly backs. Here comes Matt Madden, and he was one broken tackle away from possibly taking that one to the house. Yeah, with 5 minutes to go, the stands have started to clear out here.
Yeah, I think some of the Beverly and Salem faithful are heading home. It's brutally cold here with this wind. It really is. Can't say that enough.
2nd and 2 here. Flaherty will hand it off to Peter Malumba. Didn't get much of anything here, so it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Huge 3rd down here, Eric.
Excuse me, Christian Miller.
Another first down. They'll be able to burn a few more minutes off the clock.
Interesting to see when Salem is going to start to think about taking some timeouts here.
Well, you're down by 2 scores, so the main thing is you gotta stop here. You gotta force a punt.
Costa showing blitz.
Great drive there.
Right, and that's going to be good enough for a first down.
Matt.
Isaiah White.
Is that White? Okay.
The capable hands of Isaiah White.
Great job keeping those legs churning, making sure he got that first down. So that clock continues to run. Just under 4 minutes here, Bertram Field.
Isaiah White over 30 carries, over 160 yards this morning. Flaherty to Miller. Miller moving the pile. Keep those legs pumping, young man. So we're coming up on 3:30 to go here in the 4th.
And great job by Miller there, turning, what probably should have been a 1.5 yard gain to a 4-yard gain just by pushing that pile.
Miller jogs off the field here. Malumba back into the game. Flaherty tossed to Malumba, cuts it back upfield. He is hit and tripped up right at the 30-yard line, and we have a 20-second timeout taken by Salem. Trying to stretch this one out as much as possible here, down 20-6.
So here we go, big third down again for the Panthers.
Third and 2. Got to figure you got to give it the double deuce here.
Oh, yeah. Although, you know, Matt Madden's been running the ball great, and Malumba's been, and Christian Miller, too. I mean, the Beverly running backs have played very well this game.
It's Isaiah White in that Panther set, and he is blown up immediately, and Salem...
3 witches in the backfield from the word go.
Salem immediately takes a timeout with 2:51 to go here. And Beverly will punt for the first time today. Echeverria will come out.
You're right, this is
the first punt comes with 2:51 to go here.
And we saw the Salem punter have a lot of trouble earlier with this wind. So let's see what Vecchia can do.
In the Danvers game, in this set right here, Beverly ran a fake punt here, so we'll see what they do here. They shift back into a normal punt formation. Punt is handled, the wind knocking it down. But it takes a great bounce, rolling to the 44-yard line where Salem will take over. First and 10, they got 2:41 to work with, down 20-6 here. They've been able to move the ball all the way down to the 10-yard line, and haven't been able to do anything with it once it gets there.
Just a great punt there by Echeverria. Jerry Brown-esque, I'll say.
Jay, are you more impressed this morning with the Beverly defense or the Beverly offense?
Oh, probably the Beverly offense. And the defense, let's say the defense hasn't played great, but just the way the Beverly offense has been able to continuously move the ball in chunks, really just their run game has been great. Besides a few fumbles, you know, they played almost a perfect game. I mean, a lot of penalties hurt them in that second quarter and into the third quarter too, but they've looked great on offense.
Connolly completes it to Palmer. Good for 6 yards. Connolly can't handle the snap, and he's got to fall right on top of it. And Connolly, again, he's had a ton of trouble. I don't know if it's on a center. It's been low snaps all morning.
The shotgun snaps have not been there for him. So that clock, it looks like Salem taking a timeout here.
2 minutes to go here. Potentially the last 2 minutes for many of these seniors out here.
2 minutes to play the game.
Connolly rolls to his left, throws. Sam Malumba comes over the top, and the flag comes in late. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I was waiting for it too.
It looked like Sam had his hand kind of pull that jersey back and come over the top.
Yeah, he was in there with the left hand a little bit.
And that is exactly what the call is. Pass interference
One of those
against
questionable
Beverly.
calls, you know, could have gone either way. You know, if that was the Patriots on offense, that wouldn't have been called.
This will be a automatic first down for Salem into Beverly territory. 1:54 to go. Salem with 2 timeouts. Beverly has 3. Connolly rolls now to his right. Throws towards the sideline. White can't bring it in. Got a hand on the ball. Connolly's, you know, they may not be the prettiest spirals that get out there, but he's giving his receivers an opportunity to come down to it. And I think Rosario and White have gotten hands on the ball. They just haven't been able to complete the catch.
Yeah, he's put the ball in, you know, places, as you said, where his receivers can catch it. And he's had a lot of good throws here today.
150 unofficially. Ball at the 46, 2nd and 10 here for Salem. They go 4 wide. Palmer's in the backfield. Connolly will swing it out to Palmer and avoids a Christian Miller tackle, and Palmer is but 1 or 2 yards short of a first down. Excuse me, that was Isaiah White.
And that clock's running.
Salem looks like they're having some trouble communicating their offensive plays here. Palmer again, it's another swing pass, and Sam Malumba blows it up. And he has played exceptionally well defensively the last 2 games. Zach Duguid over there as well. Again, Jay, it's so impressive, and you mentioned it in the first half, or I think in the third quarter, about Duguid, just from his D-end possession.
Yeah.
He's all over the place.
All over the place. He's in on almost every tackle.
Under a minute to go, 4th and 8. Connolly punt fakes, throws, and Jordy Rotting will pick it off.
Oh, he's got
and
some
he
speed
may
too
have
on
an
him.
opportunity to return it. Makes a move, and he is down at the 29-yard line, intercepted by Jordy Rotting. 42 seconds to go. And the Panthers are going to win another Thanksgiving Day game here.
Of course they are. Beverly hasn't lost at this field in this century. Last time Salem won here was in '99 with their Super Bowl winning team. Great pick there by Jordy Rotting, another one of Beverly's super sophomores. And here's the best formation in all of football, victory formation. Let's take a knee.
Flaherty will take the knee. And the Panthers are going to end the year on a high note and a dominating performance on defense, a dominating performance on offense.
Oh, here we go, folks. Let's look at the Beverly sideline. Kids have got the water bucket out.
Oh, my God.
Coach
Coach
Bauer's going to take a bath, it looks like.
You poor, poor man.
Oh. I think he sees it coming. I think he's walking the other way. Oh!
That's a good one. That is one of the better showers that I've seen.
That was a good one.
And your final score from Bertram Field, the final score, Beverly 20, Salem 6. The teams line up and congratulate each other on a great game here. And we'll be back with our kind of end of the year wrap up and a little game preview and kind of talk about what's to come. But we promise, Jay, we'll make it quick. Again, your final score, Beverly 20, Salem 6. Jay and I will be back in a moment. Eric Campbell, Jay Norton here from Bertram Field. The 115th Thanksgiving Day game is complete. Beverly wins 20-6. Isaiah White, 3 touchdowns, carried the ball over 160 yards, over 30 carries. Jay caps off an incredible season and an incredible career in the black and orange.
Absolutely. Isaiah White, he's done it all year for the Panthers on offense and defense, and I couldn't think of a better way for him to end his Panther career than a big rushing day, over 160 yards. You said 3 TDs. Man, the kid's something special.
Panther defense able to really hammer down on Salem when Salem was inside the 20 and inside the 10. Salem was in there probably 3 or 4 times, and the Panthers came away with a lot of good stops. Peter Malumba was in the backfield consistently. Zach Duguid was there as well. Jordy Rotting with an interception. Forced fumbles kind of all over the place. The Panther defense, Jay, played well.
Yeah, no, they played great. And Salem was able to move the ball in between the 20s, but, as soon as they got in that red zone, Panthers D really locked down and did a great job of, holding them on 4th downs multiple times in this game.
For Salem, Austin Connolly put together a really good game, was really impressed. Jay, your thoughts on Austin?
He played great. Whether he was running the zone read, throwing a play-action pass, he really was Mr. Everything for Salem, kept them in the game. The young man did a great job today.
Panthers cap off a year 7-4. They graduate a lot of guys in a lot of different areas, 17 seniors, but they bring back I think a lot of the right guys in this sophomore class again, Jay, the super sophomores.
Watch out.
And your kind of prediction for the future for Beverly and where they're set up to go.
I see the sky's the limit for this Beverly team. I mean, Coach Bauer's done an unbelievable job. I've said it all year. They don't rebuild, they reload. And as you see that with all those sophomores, Jordy Rotting, Matt Madden, Peter Malumba, Christian Miller, so many guys that have contributed this year as sophomores. Really unbelievable. So look for the Beverly Panthers to come back strong again next year.
So we want to thank everyone again for joining us throughout the year. Jay and I know we had a ton of fun. Want to thank our crew, Mark Laban, our camera, Robert Dokes, our producer, Alex Saluco, helping out as well, doing a lot of the camera work. Thank you to all of them for their support and their work throughout the year. Jay, you in for next year?
Oh, of course.
All right,
Wouldn't miss it for the world. You going to come back?
I'll come back.
Right.
Only if you're coming back.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, sounds good. So again, your final score, Beverly 20, Salem 6. Again, thank you very much for joining us throughout the year. We'll be back. We'll have some hockey coverage and basketball coverage in the winter as well. We hope you'll join us at that point. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.